first $10,000 you save could change your entire life. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is something most people never learn. Your parents probably never taught you this. School definitely didn't teach you this. And most employers will never explain it to you. Because the truth is simple. The first serious amount of money you save is not just money. It is the moment your entire relationship with money begins to change. A lot of people think the biggest turning point in life happens when they graduate from college, or when they get their first six-figure job, or when they finally receive a promotion, but that's not where the biggest difference is created. The biggest difference happens the first time you look at your bank account and realize, I actually have money working for me. For many people, that moment happens when they reach their first $10,000. For others, it might be $25,000, maybe $50,000. The number is different for everyone, but the meaning is the same, because that first amount of capital represents something much bigger than the dollars sitting in your account. It represents discipline. It represents patience. It represents your ability to delay comfort today for freedom tomorrow. And that is where people begin to separate. Not because some people are smarter, not because some people were born lucky, but because some people understand what money is supposed to do, and others spend every dollar before it ever gets the chance to grow. Think about this. Imagine you finally save your first $10,000. You worked overtime. You skipped unnecessary purchases. You stopped eating out every single day. You ignored the pressure to keep up with everyone around you. And after months or years of effort, you finally see that number, $10,000. For the first time in your life, you feel like you are making progress. But then something happens. A voice inside your head starts talking. Maybe I should buy a better car. I've worked so hard. I deserve something nice. Maybe I should upgrade my apartment. Maybe I should take that expensive vacation. And listen, there is nothing wrong with enjoying your money. There is nothing wrong with rewarding yourself, but the timing matters, because many people make one mistake that keeps them trapped for decades. They celebrate their first seed. By eating the seed, imagine a farmer planting a field. The farmer receives a bag of seeds. Those seeds represent future harvests, future crops, future income. But instead of planting them, the farmer says, I'm hungry today. So he cooks the seeds and eats them. He feels good for one night. But the next season comes and there is nothing growing. That is exactly what happens when people finally get their first meaningful amount of money and immediately turn it into a lifestyle upgrade. They destroy the thing that could have created their future. Your first $10,000 is not important because of what it can buy. It is important because of what it can become. Most people look at $10,000 and think, what can this get me? A new phone, a vacation, a down payment on a car, a few months of bills. But financially successful people ask a different question. What can this become? Because money has two different jobs. Most people only use money for consumption. They exchange money for things. They trade dollars for temporary happiness. But wealthy people understand another purpose of money. Money can become a tool, a worker, an employee, a machine that continues producing value even when you are not actively working. Think about your job. When you stop working, what happens? Your paycheck stops. If you get sick, your income may decrease. If your company lays you off, your financial security can disappear overnight. That is the reality for millions of people. They are constantly exchanging their time for money. 1 hour of work creates 1 hour of income. 1 day of work creates 1 day of income. But there is a limit. You only have 24 hours in a day. You only have so much energy. You only have one body. That means there is a ceiling on how much you can earn by yourself. But money does not have that same limitation. Money can work while you sleep. Money can grow while you are spending time with your family. Money can create opportunities while you are focused on other things. That is why your first capital matters. It is the moment you stop being becoming completely dependent on your own labor. You start building something that can work alongside you. Now, some people will hear this and say, come on, $10,000 isn't enough to change my life. And technically, they are right. $10,000 will not make you rich overnight. It will not buy a mansion. It will not allow you to quit your job tomorrow. But they're missing the point. The first $10,000 is not powerful because of the amount. It is powerful because of what it teaches you. The difference between looking rich and becoming wealthy. Here is something most people never realize. The hardest part about building wealth is not making money. The hardest part is learning how to keep money, because making money gives you a temporary feeling of success, but keeping money creates the foundation for freedom. Anyone can receive a paycheck. Anyone can get a bonus. Anyone can have a good month. But the person who can take that money and turn it into an asset, that person is playing a completely different game. And this is where most people lose. They finally increase their income. Maybe they get a better job. Maybe they start making an extra $1,000 a month. Maybe they receive a promotion. And instead of using that extra money to build their future, they immediately increase their lifestyle. A more expensive car, a bigger apartment, more expensive restaurants, more subscriptions, more things they do not actually need. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it is one of the biggest reasons people stay financially stuck, because every time their income goes up, their expenses go up with it. They look successful from the outside, but behind closed doors, they are still trapped. They are trapped by monthly payments. They are trapped by debt. They are trapped by the need to continue earning the same amount forever. That is not freedom. That is a more comfortable version of the same prison. The wealthy understand something different. They know that every dollar has a job. A dollar can either disappear, or a dollar can become a soldier. A soldier that goes out into the world and works for you. When you invest money wisely, you are giving your future self more options. You are buying freedom one decision at a time. Now, let's talk about something uncomfortable. Most people do not actually have a money problem. They have a priority problem, because the truth is, people find money for what they truly value. Think about it. Someone says, I can't save $200 a month, but somehow they can afford a new phone every year. Someone says, I don't have money to invest, but somehow they can afford expensive dinners every weekend. Someone says, I'll start saving when I make more money. But when they finally make more money, they simply spend more. The problem was never the income. The problem was the mindset. Because if you cannot manage $1,000, you will struggle to manage $10,000. If you cannot manage $10,000, you will struggle to manage $100,000